Alright, so now that we have the register form completed, we want to process it. But before we do that, let me do some center tags, and inside the center tags, h1 tags, and we're gonna type in register for free, and then after that more center tags, and then inside here we're gonna do some PHP syntax and echo MSG, and I'll tell you why in a second. So go all the way up to doc type, PHP syntax, and we want to declare MSG, and we're going to set it to nothing. And if we save this and go to a browser, let me just refresh this, you'll see that we have our register for free here, and in here for right now it's invisible, well, we can't see it, but that's gonna be our error messages. So now we get started. We're gonna start by creating our first if statement, and we're gonna say if is set $_post, and inside here we're gonna do submit. Basically we're saying if the submit button has been pressed, we're gonna run everything inside here, but first we have to collect their first name, their last name, their email, and their password. And we're gonna set this to post. Let me just do something fast. Let me just copy this and add it to every single one so it could be faster. Alright, so the first one is gonna be first, because that's what we called it. Well, actually no, we called it F name, and no, it's not saying F your name, it's just F name. The second one is L name. The third one is email. The last one is password. Now we're gonna check if they have data inside of them. So the first one is if first. If there is something first, we're gonna go to the next one. Else, instead of echo, we're gonna do MSG equals please enter your first name, and then if last, we're gonna say else message equals please enter your last name. And for the fourth, the third, sorry guys, if email, we're going to say else MSG equals please enter your email. And for the fourth, we're gonna say if password curly braces else message is gonna be please enter your password. And let me just tell you guys, the messages can be anything you guys want. They don't have to be exact like mine, but if you wanna keep it to be in the safe side, go ahead. But before we do this, we want to go all the way to our variables and include something. We're gonna say MySQL underscore real underscore escape underscore string. This helps protect from MySQL injection. So let me just add the parentheses. and let me just copy, paste, paste, and paste. Oh, and now we move on to the adding the user to the database. We're gonna include the script /db.ini.php file. After that, we're going to do a new variable pass. We're gonna make sure the password is hashed by using MD5 function, and inside the MD in the parentheses we're gonna do password. So say my password is banana. So this password right now is banana, and then once we get here, we create a new variable, but we're gonna encrypt it. We're gonna encrypt banana. So the new variable pass has encrypted banana. So the last step is my SQL underscore query, and inside here we're gonna say insert into users, and then parentheses, and inside here we're gonna say, or we're gonna type first name, last name, email, and password. Remember guys, here where we typed first name, last name, email, and password, they all have to match our database. After that, we want to do values, and then parentheses, and then inside here we just want to say first, last, email, and pass, and then we're gonna give them a message. For right now, we're just gonna say user has been registered. Alright, for right now we're just gonna give it a message, but once we have created the home page, we are going to use a function, the header function, to redirect them to the home page. But for now we're just gonna use a message. Alright, so before we actually register somebody, we just want to touch up in some little things, some little details. In your query, you want to add the grave accent to basically these. And if you don't know what the grave accent is, it's the little tick that's above tab, your tab key. And then for values, you want to add little single quote. And we save this, and now we want to go to the website and refresh. Alright, so now let's check if everything works. Register, please enter your first name. So let's enter our first name, Bob. It should say please enter your last name. Once I click this, please enter your last name. So it's going to be Bob Test, and then it should say please enter your email, Bob Test. So Bob Test, Bob at test.com. Now it should say please enter your password. Alright, now we're going to register a user, but before we do that, we go to browse, and as you're going to see, we don't have any user. So let's enter Bob test, bob@test.com, and the password is going to be Bob test. And once we click register, user has been registered. So let's browse, and we should see our user in the database.